I'm just going to get right into it. Look at this. This is from Breaking 911. This is this is where I first saw it, and then of course, the internet went nuts. All right. Just in, AOC was not in the U.S. Capitol building during her near-death experience. She claims to have been in her office, which is located in the Cannon building. Wait a minute. The rioters did not breach the Cannon building. Look at this. That's right. If you guys... Oh, man, it's really bright on that page. Let me see if I can open it in a new tab. Is that better? Not really. All right, so what this is showing is there's two circles, okay? One is the Capitol building, and that's where the rioters breached. The other is the House office building, the Cannon building, which is where she was at. So she wasn't in the Capitol building. So she wasn't in danger at all. Interesting. Now, she got into this Twitter battle with Jack Posobiec. Oh, maybe this picture will translate a little bit nicer. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So here we go. Here's the U.S. Capitol building. All right. Here's the Cannon House office building, which is where she was. And he says, fact check. Because she actually said, this is the latest manipulative take on the right. They are manipulating the fact that most people don't know the layout of the Capitol complex. We were all on the Capitol complex. The attack wasn't just on the dome. The bombs Trump supporters planted surrounded our... Okay, first off, AOC, they didn't prove who planted those bombs. I've been looking into that. They don't know who did that. They just happened to find them. And that they don't know who planted those. I don't know who planted them still. But he's right. She wasn't in the Capitol building. But she's basically alluding to the Capitol. Well, I was in the complex. All right. Well, my building, which is like a block and a half down, is north, I guess, whatever, if you want to get technical. But it's the same complex. So technically I was right. And she goes, this isn't a fact check at all. Your arrows aren't accurate. They lie about where the mob stormed and placed them further away than it was. Seriously? Look at the semantics. Okay, the arrow is pointing at the Capitol building, but right, if you want to get semantic with it, it's pointing at the road outside, not at the actual Capitol building. Really, AOC? Oh my gosh. You also failed to convey multiple areas people were trying to storm. It wasn't just one. You also failed to show the tunnels. Poor job all around. Well, they didn't go into the tunnels, AOC. They weren't in your building at all. So when she was talking about how the pounding on a door, like, is she here? That was her own security team trying to make sure that she was safe in the office that she was in. So she was claiming that her own security team was actually the people that were after her. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Then the memes start rolling in. My goodness, look at this. This one's kind of funny. I couldn't resist. I mean, it's hashtag Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett is literally trending on Twitter. This is from, what is it? I don't remember the name of the show. I never watch it, but it's hilarious. This person's claiming that they were murdered. AOC when Ted Cruz sneezes in the hallway. I mean, it's trending #1 right now. I'm sure it's still trending. Of course, everyone's coming at her. Oh, look at this. I mean, this is this is actually from this is her talking about her near-death experience. Really? Your near-death experience? Ocasio-Cortez? Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. It's just using any chance you get to attack other people, victimize yourself for clicks. That's what I'm seeing. Was she actually a victim? Some may argue that she was. For example, Carlin Borisenko. We all love her. She's on my show all the time. Every Thursday, Carlin joins me on the show. She had this take. For all of those who are replying, AOC was never in danger. I'll just leave this here and to make it easy. And as she says here, as I have previously stated, whether or not she felt fear based on being in actual danger is not the point. AOC is crazy enough to believe she was in actual danger. It is the perception of the danger that causes the trauma. Trauma is not logical. All right, well, I see what you're saying, Carlin. You have a point. But when you have 12 million followers and you are accusing your Republican counterparts that they're trying to murder you or incite people to murder you and blaming them and pushing it for weeks and weeks and weeks, it's not trauma anymore. I mean, it's her spreading propaganda and shoving it down her supporters' throats, inciting violence against the Republicans. I mean, Ted Cruz, they're trying to crucify him now. Ted Cruz is under incredible attack now. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong, Carlin, okay? Trauma is not logical. I get that. You know, she may have been traumatized. But when you're not even in the right building, when you find out that it is your own security team that was knocking on your door to find out if you were safe, you know, it's like, come to a realization, okay? It's like the scientific method. When you find out something doesn't work, you try something different. When you find out the truth of the matter, you alter where your head's at. I like that. That's how I roll. That's logical to me. It's not logical when you find out the truth of the matter and just maintain it. No, I don't care. I'm getting a lot of attention from this. All right? She loves this. She had 7 million followers a year ago. Now she's got 12 million. She's gone up 5 million followers on Twitter. Her strength in her message is growing. She knows exactly what she's doing, Carlin. She knows exactly what she's doing. I don't believe it for a second, you know, because she's out here. This is from the Daily Beast. Her incredibly raw and emotional Instagram live video is possibly the most vivid and terrifying account of yet last month's Trumpist insurrection at the U.S. Capitol building. Well, she wasn't at the Capitol building, was she? She wasn't. She's using this emotional, she's shoving it down everyone's throat. If she had actual trauma, you think that she would actually need to speak to someone about it and not be blasting out into the world and like pointing fingers at people that have nothing to do with it. People that actually condemned the violence also, aka Ted Cruz, aka President Trump. Both of them came out and saying, look, this violence is wrong. Trump's last video before he was banned off Twitter completely was, I condemn the violence. I didn't want this. Banned. Get rid of that video so people don't see and we can continue blaming Trump on this. Ted Cruz, he said it. I condemn the violence. I think it's ridiculous. Why are people doing this? I didn't ask for this. I condemn it. What, Alexandra, she actually comes out and talks about this. To survivors of any trauma, see, now it's trauma, who worry about being believed, there it is, or that their situation wasn't bad enough or too bad, or fear being branded or deemed manipulative for telling the truth, I see you. Community is here for you. You are safe with me and with all of us. You are loved. Look, I agree with that. People need to be believed when they've been traumatized, you know, when they've gone through things, you know, and I want people to hear their message and talk about that kind of stuff. And oh, what's this? Oh, this is from Tara Reid. I don't know if you know who Tara Reid is, but she was accosted by the current sitting president, Joseph Biden, when they tried to bring this story out. What happened to her? This is her memoir, Where Feminism and Vulnerability Meet Tara Reid. Left out when the truth doesn't fit in, a memoir by Tara Reid. Yeah. What about her trauma? What about people that don't fit the narrative that you don't want to talk about? You know, those kind of things exist. What about these people? Are we going to just ignore it when they don't fit the narrative? Because that sounds like what's going on right now. Well, President Kamala or Vice President Kamala Harris straight up believed Tara Reade. She accused Biden. She brought it up. It was a debate, she said. She accused him of being racist. It was a debate. So how are we supposed to believe anything you say then? I'm getting off subject here, but it fits though. Even Vice President Kamala Harris accused Biden because of Tara Reade. Now, no one talks about that anymore because it doesn't fit the narrative. So when the trauma fits the narrative, you blast it out to the world. And that's what we're seeing AOC doing. Now the number one trend on Twitter is Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett. I don't know if you know who Smollett is, but he faked a hate crime to try to get more clicks. Because it works. Victimhood works. They have monetized being a victim. Why? Why are we doing this? Being a victim should not be glorified. Now, I'm not saying, look, if you're a victim, all right, you should absolutely get the support that you need. But when it's flipped over and being monetized and shoved down your throat and used to manipulate the masses, that is an issue. That's what I have issue with. AOC wasn't in the building. All right? She's monetizing this stuff. She is. That's the vibe I'm getting from this whole thing. What else is it? Okay? She's not trying to get help for her trauma.